A lot of agents that I speak to say that they really struggle to come up with good content or find the time to do it, and it's a big issue for them. So I wanted to make this video just to try and talk to you guys about a kind of structure you can work within to make sure that A, you have the consistency of content going out, but B, it's the right kind of content. The two biggest mistakes that I see with content marketing from estate agents, or even just content marketing in general, I guess, is one, it's not consistent enough, and that's usually because companies are just too busy. They don't have time to remember to keep posting to all these different social media platforms. But two, what a lot of companies then end up doing is they then end up solving that problem and just posting a load of shit, basically. Like, no point to any of the content. It's just random stuff. I don't need you to tell me the country's about to go into lockdown. Like, I've got the news for that. I don't need to rely on a local estate agent to tell me that sort of information. I don't need you to tell me 5 healthy tips for eating. Like, I don't want that information from an estate agent. It's just bullshit. So the main thing to think about in terms of the type of content to create, first of all, you have to figure out, why does your company even exist in the first place? What is it that you're trying to help people with? If you can start trying to figure that out, what do they get from your company that they don't get from the competitor down the road? What's the difference? Why do you exist? Why do people use you? And let's say you start figuring that stuff out. You start going, oh, right, okay. From us, they get a personal service, or from us, they get everything under one roof, whatever it might be, cheap fees, better service, any of that stuff, it doesn't matter. You figure that out first. Then what you do is you think about the title of the article that would make somebody want to read it. So it doesn't need to relate to your service, it doesn't need to relate to your company yet. You just need to think of a title that someone might be interested in. For instance, at the moment, as I'm filming this video, it might be something around how coronavirus is affecting the property market. Once we've got the title, then what we need to do is break our content down into a couple of sections. The first is the problem. What's the problem that people are experiencing at the moment? But not just any random problem. You need to start thinking then about how that ties in to what your company does that your competitors don't do. So for instance, if what you give people is a personalised service, perhaps you might go, okay, the title of the article is the problems that coronavirus is causing in the property industry. I want this to tie into the fact that people need a personal service. So the problem is the market has become so busy that you'll notice lots of agents bragging about how much property they take on. Unfortunately, the problem with this is that they're unable to give a personal service, and so therefore you just become a number. They stack your properties up as high as they can, sell them as cheap as possible, and just let it be. What will be, will be. And this is a common problem with estate agency, which is why we limit the number of properties we take on so that we can always give that personal service. Do you see the difference in the content between that and me just making a piece of content about the problems that coronavirus is causing in the property industry and banging on about, I don't know, lending? So what? Why would I need to come to your estate agency because you've told me that lending is slow at the moment? So you need to be a bit more focused with the type of content that you create. First of all, figure out what your company does that's so special and so unique, and then think about that every time you write a piece of content. In terms of consistency, you can use a tool. You can use a tool like Lifecycle, whereby you literally can just schedule your content for the month. The beauty of doing it through something like Lifecycle is that it's all one complete system. The same system that's tracking your website, the same system that's powering up your emails, that's powering up your instant valuations, that's powering up your market appraisals, that's doing your nurture journeys, that's staying in contact with everybody, that's powering up your Facebook ads. The same system's tracking everything. So therefore, not only can you schedule your content, but you can see who's been looking at that content, and you can let the system decide what they should be seeing next while you're busy out actually valuing houses and taking people on viewings. So I hope that video is useful to help people figure out how to make more relevant content that actually leads people towards their company and how to make sure it's consistent.